Hi parents and guardians, I'm Miss Silik. I just wanted to film you guys a little video as I apologize for not being able to be on live with you tonight on Zoom for open house. I have a personal conflict tonight, but I wanted just to introduce myself and kind of give you guys a face to the name, and for some of you maybe in a face to the voice that you hear sometimes coming from your kids' computer screen. So I'm really excited to have your kids this year in whatever capacity that looks like, whether it's virtual or hybrid or moving in person. The biggest thing I want you guys to know is that I'm here for your students. I'm here for you guys, and I want to make this, the best year possible. So I'm just going to walk through normally what I would do on an open house, tell you guys a little bit about myself, what to expect from the class, and kind of just some class norms and things in terms of my Schoology page, just to help you guys and help your students navigate through this year. If you guys ever need anything from me, please do not hesitate to reach out on Schoology or email. And then there's always that student support hour at the end of each day that you guys can utilize as well by appointment. So just let me know. So, all right, I'm going to turn it over to my presentation here, and then we'll kind of get started. All right, welcome to my presentation part of my video for you guys. Welcome. I appreciate you guys tuning in and listening for a few minutes here. Just a little bit about myself. Like I said, I'm Miss Silik. I graduated from MSU with advertising and marketing degree, and after working for almost 4 years in that field, I realized that I missed my calling and that I was meant to be a teacher. So I came back to Michigan and went to Oakland University, where I got my master's degree in secondary education in both English and history. So that's why I'm split departments. I taught for a year at Bloomfield before coming to Troy, and now this is my 6th year here at Troy. I love working here. I love the kids. I love the families. I love my colleagues. But outside of work, I like to remind the kids that, I'm a person too. We are all persons, especially this year. I think it's very important that we all have that, grace and understanding towards each other. At the end of the day, whether there's a computer screen splitting us apart, or a face shield or a mask, that we're all humans, and, we all have that understanding and empathy for each other. This is my family. I'm very close to my family. My weekends are very precious to me, and that's when I spend the most time with my family and my friends. I travel a lot, obviously not since March, but I do try to travel whenever I can. My fur child, Miss Jameson, and then I was telling the kids that these are my girlfriends I've had since I was a freshman in high school, and we are all still friends today, married with kids and navigating through life. Here at Troy this year, I'm teaching 12th grade literature and 9th grade world history. Other than 9th grade world history, that is the only class I teach in the social studies department. In terms of the English department, I have taught 10th grade, I've taught 10 honors, I've taught 9 honors, 11th grade, and obviously now I've taught 12th grade for the last couple years. So very well versed in the English curriculum. I run our student government sophomore class. I'm the advisor for them. So normally our events would be Powder Puff and Mr. Troy High. For right now, those events are on hold until we kind of figure out what this year is going to look like. I'm also the Model UN advisor for both Troy High and Athens. So I have kind of a cool, unique collaboration with both of those teams in that sense. And then I also run our Colts Abroad Study Abroad program. Right now it's pending for this year until we see kind of what the year is going to look like. But should we ever get approval and things start looking better, I will share out any details on any future trips we're taking this year. So that is just a little bit about me. Now what I'm going to do is kind of shift into specifics about the class and kind of go over the nuts and bolts of it. Okay, so for this year for 12LC, in this course, starting this year and through the rest of the year, we're really going to kind of, it's our world literature course. So we're going to kind of view the world and have the kids kind of examine their own thinking and learning and motivations tied to each of those areas of the world as we look at different short stories and writing pieces from each of those parts of the world, considering why is it important to hear those stories from those parts of the world? What are the differences and similarities that connect us there? I encourage kids to, accept challenges and grow from our mistakes, advocate for change, identify conflicts, but also propose solutions there within their writing. I try to provide opportunities for them to use their knowledge that we're learning in the classroom to connect with opportunities outside the classroom, whether we're, virtual on screen or in the classroom when, in that sense. through world literature, we want them to be curious to explore different parts of the world. And we do that through different book clubs, different projects, as we push them into exploring different parts of the world and then sharing those findings out with the class. They're going to grow as thinkers and writers and as human beings that at the end of the year are not only going to be ready for college, but be ready to become contributing and a positive influence in society. They're going to grow as readers. Eventually, we're going to be reading every day. Right now, my biggest, hurdle is just getting them back on Zoom, getting those tech issues going. And then in the next week or two here, we're going to start just the independent reading again, encouraging them to pick up a novel and to shut down the screens. I know I'm struggling with that right now, is to find that balance. And I'm hoping that I can help encourage them to do that. They're going to read fiction and nonfiction in both the novel form and short story form and poetry form. We talked about reading independently. They're going to read articles of the week, and we're going to look at some parts of film and some speeches. My favorite part is actually article of the week and getting to hear their thoughts and opinions on things and seeing them navigate through those differences when we don't agree on things, because I'm okay if we don't agree on things or if we don't come together. But I want kids to be able to respect that everyone has their own opinions and to kind of understand maybe why they have that opinion. You don't have to agree with it. And I think that's the biggest thing I want to get out of them this year, is to kind of push past the one-sided thinking and to view more of the world, in 3D. As a writer this year, we're going to look at pieces as mentor texts, meaning what in this piece of writing that we're looking at, what is so strong about it? What makes it so substantial? Why is it important? What can we take from this writing and how can we, implement it into our own writing? So it's understanding those author's craft. They're going to write different pieces. Provide research and analysis, whether it's a long piece or a short piece, being able to defend their writing and explore some of the narrative style writing as we're writing our college essays right now. Using notebooks to just do quick writes and kind of explore that journaling style of writing and getting things ready for discussions and group projects and whatnot. And really just create a community of writers in here to feel confident in our writing abilities. So right now, what we're focusing on is our college essays and personal statements, kind of getting a crash course. This is officially not in the curriculum, but it's something that we're pausing to in the last 2 years to make it a set thing that each 12th grade class, whether it's 12 LC or 12 AP, are giving their kids some guidance, giving them kids, some class periods in order to actually spend time in class looking at sample essays, giving them some of those writer's tips on how to strengthen their own writing, brainstorming topics. We've gone through some workshopping activities in terms of the revision. Like I said, we looked at some sample ones. Everything is on Schoology for there. They're going to meet with their counselors and go over the process. And I communicated that in a Schoology message of how they're setting up those meetings this year. Okay. So if you guys have any questions about that, just shoot me an email. So for semester 1, starting this week, article of the week, probably every week to every other week, depending on kind of where the A and B days fall. Independent reading, world lit short stories. We're going to push into 2 book club novels is our intention for this semester, depending on how things work. And then obviously we're going to be doing some writing, and our writing this semester is going to be more of that synthesis argumentative style of writing. Some of the books for their book club choices these are some of the popular ones from last year. So if you are interested in exploring what some of your kids are going to have choices about, this has not been shared with them yet. We're not there yet, but I thought I'd give you guys a heads up as these are some of the stories they're going to be reading. And it was the first time that I actually saw my 12th graders, enjoying a lot of the books that they were reading as we let them pick their own novel. And the stories within them were so humanizing for them, and they attached to them, and they were emotional, and they got really into their reading, which was awesome to see as a teacher. So Schoology, that's where everything is. I'll walk you through it in just a second here, but I have Google Slides with all my agendas. It's great to know what's going on in the classroom, or if your child ever missed a class, everything's on there documented with links and everything. I have, obviously with being digital right now, and for probably a lot of this year, everything is going to be digital online in terms of assignments and submissions. Grades, I try to keep up to date with grades as best I can. We're using the calendar as much as we can in terms of assignments and due dates. So always you can message me on Schoology. You can always, shoot me a quick email. I try my best to respond during the week. Weekends are when I have really shut down as a teacher to limit my technology use. So try to catch me during the week. I will do the best I can to respond on a weekend if something does come up. So here's what their Schoology page looks like. Here's where their Zoom link is. If they ever need me for student support, there's that link there. Class slides, like I talked about, are here. Course resources, just the syllabus if they need anything. Article of the week assignments will always be in here. And then I group everything by unit. So right now we're in the college essay folder. And as you can tell, there's a lot of good stuff for them in here in terms of samples and brainstorming techniques. Different samples and advice from Purdue and Harvard. So just a really good resource for you guys and them. So that is pretty much it for 12LC. Like I said, if you guys need anything at all, please do not hesitate to shoot me an email or send me a Schoology message. I am here to help you and your students this year. All right, thanks, parents. Have a wonderful night.